Hi everybody, this is Peggy Arvidsson, the Soul Coach and Hand Analyst. You are listening to or watching Palmistry with Peggy. Today I am getting ready to do a intense laser reading, that's what I call these short readings, for a woman named Gabrielle who found me here on YouTube and sent me two. Here's one and here's the other. See? Two JPEGs of her hands. Now, I know these aren't real intense for you. They're a little more detailed for me. Now, when I do a full-length reading, what I do is I mail people ink kits, and I give them the opportunity to make prints of both of their hands, their dominant hand and their non-dominant hand, and a full-length reading would include a translation of their fingerprints, and then a one-to-one discussion about how all of the factors in their hands are playing into their life purpose and their life lesson. Life lesson is really a big gift to us because we're learning to get out of our own way, rediscover our self-worth, if you will. Anyhow, if you want to have your hands read in a laser reading like this, you can send me your handprint at handanalystpro@comcast.net or visit my website www.intuitiveevolution.com. I'll be happy to answer your questions if you have any. You can email me or visit the website. So, on to Gabrielle. Gabrielle's question was that she has an opportunity for a business change and wanted to see if I could see any information in her hands that would lead her in that direction or give her some insight into that direction. So, to be honest with you, Gabrielle, the first thing that jumps out at me, if you will, is this area of your thumb. I want to show you, there's a thumb, and several people have 3 zones of their thumb, so you might have a line here. Now, you don't. It's okay. This is your dominant hand. There's also several people that only have 2 zones of their hand. But when we are missing this lowest zone of our thumb, there's no divider, there's no third level. What that says to me is that the owner of this hand has a hard time speaking up for themselves. It's not that you're not a good talker or a good communicator. You might be speaking as a regular part of your daily life, speaking in front of crowds. So that's not what I mean when I talk about speaking up. It's about saying, but this is who I am. This is what I want. This is my story, and this is how it informs and affects me and the things that that I want to do. So I have this first question: is this new venture really where your heart and soul is, or is it something that you believe is the right thing to do, perhaps because other people have told you this and they've got a great they've had great results with it. Perhaps it does fit with their soul purpose and it's not necessarily your soul purpose. So I want you to go back and have a conversation with yourself. Ask yourself, really, what part of me does this serve? Because if all it's serving is putting money in the bank, there's plenty of other ways to do that. Let's find a way that serves your soul, especially if you're going to invest a lot of time and a lot of energy and a lot of money into whatever this new venture is. The second thing that I look at is what we would call the Saturn line. The old-time palmists used to call this the fate line. They made it sound very dangerous and exotic and even mysterious. But essentially, your Saturn line, I talk about this a lot. A lot of people come to me these days talking about career and business, and the Saturn line usually starts, I don't know if we can get a good shot on this. Well, it starts in the middle of our hand and it moves up towards our middle or our Saturn finger. Yours is very light, but all the lines on your hands are very light, so we need to keep that in perspective. Now, but it stops a couple of different places and there's multiple lines. So that says to me you have lots of different ways you like to get to the same outcome, which is fine. It's fun to just try different things and see what works and see if this suits you or if something else suits you. But the question can be that you might get easily frustrated or talk yourself out of something. or talk yourself into something, because it seems good on paper. Being good on paper is half the battle. I never encourage people to go crazy for things that just look ridiculous, but on the other hand, it could look great on paper and just not serve you. So I want you to have a little conversation with yourself. Ask yourself what you really believe about this. How does it feel in your gut, in your soul, in your heart? Does it feed your heart? If it doesn't feed your heart, just take whatever job there is, so that you can do what feeds your heart. Ultimately, that's the goal. You're going to make more money when you're working with your voice, not anybody else's. I'm not saying this is a bad idea. I'm not saying it's a good idea. You always have the choice. Gabrielle, our hands tell us that we have the choice. It just shows us the best tools we could possibly find for making those choices. If you have further questions, Gabrielle, or anybody watching this, or you'd like to have a full-length reading, feel free, visit my website, www.intuitiveevolution.com. I also am hosting monthly Awaken Your Soul Inner Circle calls where we talk about particular areas of the hand. So that may be of interest to all of you. All of that information is on my website. Thanks for listening, and have a great, great day, afternoon, morning, whatever time you're listening. Take care.